so good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's super exciting program. My name is Jesse, and I am with Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. We are the virtual education partner of your Toronto Zoo, and it's so thrilling to be back as we highlight yet another amazing species, some incredible conservation work, and some of the awesome keepers at the zoo. Now, today, we are going to dive in on tigers because it is the beginning of the Year of the Tiger, and so we're going to celebrate this in the best way possible by showcasing probably the coolest big cat in the world. I'm very biased. I think they are pretty spectacular and special, and I'm sure all you guys do as well. Now, before I turn it over to the zoo team to start, I will note we're going to have questions coming in from you guys on YouTube, Facebook, galore, on the zoo channels, on our channel, so please get ready with those questions and comments. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear where you're joining from. And before we dive in with a full Q&A at the end, we are going to have a little Kahoot quiz. So for the young ones especially, if you guys want to pull up kahoot.it or kahoot.com in a separate tab, we'll give you guys the game pin before we dive in with those questions. A nice fun chance to be interactive and have a lot of fun at the end. Now, no one's here for me, and so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our zoo friends at the Sumatran Tiger exhibit to take us away on this exciting journey. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and go for it.
Hi guys, so I'm Elise and this is Sarah. Hello. We're two of our Sumatran tiger keepers. Behind us you're going to see Kamala. So these guys are from the island of Sumatra. So they're used to a little bit of a warmer climate, but she's curled up in her cave right now, which we keep at about 30 degrees. So she's happy to find some snacks in the snow and then curl up in there. These guys are the smallest species of tiger, but they do have the most stripes, and their stripes are actually closer together than all of the other tigers, and that's because these guys live in the densest forests.
So these guys, relative to the Amur tigers, which you're going to meet later on, like Elise said, they actually have greater than 23 stripes, whereas all the other types of tigers, all the other 6 subspecies, have less than 23. One thing you'll notice as she comes into the sunlight right now, she's much darker. When you get to see some clips of the Amur tigers later on, they're much lighter, and all the other tigers are actually a little bit lighter, and that once again comes to living in that really dense rainforest. They have longer whiskers, which allow them to detect movement in the brush, they're, like Elise said, they're much smaller. So Kamala weighs about 180 pounds. We actually weigh them today. We weigh our tigers once a month. She lives with another male. His name is Harry Malkayu. And Harry, we weighed this morning, and he is a very lean, 260 pounds. We do give our tigers a little bit more diet. We kind of feed them up in the winter because they are from a tropical climate, so we will give them what we call like a 10% diet increase, just to put a little bit more fat on them. So we actually put a bunch of quail out for Kamala this morning. So the nice thing with the snow, although it might not
Sorry to interrupt, ladies. Sorry to interrupt. Just back up the camera up just a quarter second, because then we don't catch the little grain in the window. Perfect. That makes it a lot clearer. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. So what we did just before we switched habitats with Harry is we actually threw some quail over. So they're actually hidden in the snow. So although, yes, snow is not something you'll find in Sumatra, this is actually a great form of enrichment, which is also really important for our tigers here at the zoo. So in these snow piles, she'll be able to, you'll probably see her pull out a quail in just a second, but this is a great way because she can smell that the quail are around, but she doesn't know where they are. So this helps keep her mentally busy. This helps keep her physically busy. So you can see her kind of shoving her head in a snow pile there. Kamala is actually a pretty cold hardy tiger. Our male Harry, we would say not so much.
Yeah.
He's more of a room temperature tiger. These guys in the winter, though, they always have the opportunity to go inside on the really cold days. So even though they do have these heated caves, they can stay out here and enjoy the sun, or they can go sit inside where we give them nice warm bedding and a warm heated house.
And we do like to spoil them. You'll notice there are little paths all throughout here. So after that big snowfall, we did come out and we shoveled little paths so that they can walk around. These guys are also trained to present their back feet. So we actually put on Paw Magic, which is just something to sort of protect their feet from the cold, to prevent them from getting any cracks or anything like that. So if any of you guys have like dogs, or mostly dogs at home, that you're going to take for a walk, you might put some kind of wax on their feet. And it's the same thing we use here to help protect these guys. And we do try and give them lots of enrichment opportunities out here still. You'll see there's a nice Christmas tree right in front of her cave there. These guys love rubbing in different scents.
And we had actually brought out some barrels earlier in the day for Harry to enjoy. But Harry decided to take them inside to bed with him. So we actually just went in to visit him, and both of his barrels are laying in his bed with him, whereas exactly where Harry loves to see them. So these guys are your apex predators. They're top of the food chain. Where these guys live in Sumatra, they're pretty much going to be eating smaller deer-sized animals, pig species. So here at the zoo, they get about 2.5 to 3 pounds, closer to 4 pounds of meat a day. And then they get a variation of quail and other rodent-like animals. And they get bones a couple times a week. That helps with their teeth, keep their teeth nice and clean. And they're pretty well taken care of, and they're very food motivated, which makes our training program much easier. Now, we'll quickly just mention with these guys, we work in protected contact, which means we do not go in with our tigers. So our training program is developed that we always work with them at a very safe distance. So we do not go in with them for safety reasons. If you can see Kamala chewing, I don't know how close you can get, but she's got those really big canines, and they can apply a lot of force. And they are a wild animal, so from that safety perspective, we respect them. And so we always maintain a very safe distance, and we're still able to provide them a very full, healthy life, monitoring and taking care of them that way.
Awesome. All right, Jesse, we're going to throw it back to you for a quick second here. We actually have a little clip that we want to show everyone before we head over and compare with our Amur tigers. The little clip just shows about tiger conservation in the wild, which this year for Year of the Tiger, the Toronto Zoo is jumping into even more conservation for them and ways that we can support our wild conservation species as well. So we'll play that clip here for everybody.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mary Ellen.
Tim Sumatran Ranger Project, we would like to thank you, Animal Assist, for your support to Sumatran Ranger Project. Build coral livestock for protect local farmers from attack animal predator, especially tiger. Thank you.
This is city confidence in this area. Thank you to Sumatran Ranger Project, which is supported by Toronto Zoo. We already create new coral livestock to give to local people to protect their livestock, to get rid away of animal predator, especially Sumatran tiger. So thank you for Toronto Zoo for your support to Sumatran Ranger Project to create, to build coral livestock to protect local farmers from attack animal predator, especially Sumatran tiger. Thank you.
Fantastic. How cool to showcase such a neat community conservation project with support from the zoo. Always great to highlight great work like that. That's awesome. Mary Ellen, are we heading to our folks at the Amur Tigers? We come back to you guys in Sumatra for a while.
We are going to head over to the Amurs now. Kamala has also taken this opportunity. She said, I've already been in the spotlight. I want to share it with everybody else here at the zoo. So she's gone for a lap around her exhibit in her beautiful snow shoveled pathways. So we're going to switch over to Amurs and we'll be back for the Q&A.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Mary Ellen. Well, let's take it to the Amur team. 2 tigers at the zoo and Dolphin, our team there. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a happy Lunar New Year to you. My name's Dolph Young, the CEO of your Toronto Zoo, and we're so delighted you're joining us today to help us kick off the Year of the Tiger. Now, at your Toronto Zoo, we have 2 tiger species. We have the Amur tigers and the Sumatran tigers that you just saw. And what better opportunity to talk about tiger conservation and the challenges these animals are facing in the wild. So we're going to use the whole year to share events to help you learn more about tigers. And we're going to kick it off today, though, with our great friends from the Chinese Cultural Center. I'm joined by Alan Land, and he's going to introduce our first dance to help kick this off. Alan, over to you.
Thank you, Dolph. On behalf of the Chinese Cultural Center of Greater Toronto, welcome. Happy New Year, the Year of Water Tiger. I'd like to also introduce to you the team of Master Kung Fu. They will be performing the Lion Dance, which is one of the major festival activities that we do during the New Year. So we like you to enjoy the dance, and so welcome everyone, and we are looking forward to a great year after the pandemic. Thank you. So I think we just start. Right? Thank you. Enjoy the show. Grateful to our friends at the Chinese Cultural Center and, of course, you from Explore the Seat of Your Pants for these great programming. Accredited zoos across North America over the past few years have invested over $3 million in tiger conservation. So Amur tigers, Sumatran tigers, and the many others who need our help coming together to help make sure we're looking after them here and also in the wild. To talk a little bit more about the animals here, though, I'm joined by Ryan, who's one of the animal care staff at your Toronto Zoo, to connect you to Kazi and Mila and an update on how they're doing.
Hi guys, I know it's quite loud, so I'm gonna get behind the camera and hopefully you'll hear me a little bit better. We can just focus on the actual tigers themselves. So we'll get a little closer here. And you can get a shot of Mila, who's actually listening to the Chinese dancers right now. She's pretty brave right now. This is obviously, they've never heard anything like this, so this is pretty exciting for them. she wasn't too didn't know what to expect when we did our sound check, but she seems to be enjoying watching them and listening to them right now. But so you did learn about our Sumatran tigers, so I apologize I didn't hear what was said, so I apologize if I repeat anything. But right now we are looking at our Amur tigers. So they are the largest species of tiger. And we at the Toronto Zoo currently have 3 Amur tigers. So you're looking at our newest addition, baby Mila, who's actually turned 9 months old today. She was born last year on May 1st. So we'll be celebrating her birthday in a couple months. So we've got some big birthday celebrations planned for her. And then over on the left here, on the rock, is Mazzy. That's Mom. So Mazzy, she'll be turning 15 this summer. Mazzy, she weighs about Mazzy weighs about 250, 60 pounds. And Mila right now, she's about 130 pounds. So she still has quite some growing to do. But Dad, Vasily, who we're not looking at right now, he weighs almost 400 pounds, or just above 400 pounds. So he's almost double the size of our male Sumatran tiger. So that just shows you the difference. The differences between them is basically size. The Amur tigers are the largest. They're always also really well adapted to living in cold climates. These tigers come from eastern parts of China and parts of Russia, and they are well suited for living in these frigid cold temperatures. Honestly, most of the time right now in the winter, we find our tigers just hanging outside because they absolutely love the cold. And you can see they've got some really thick coats of fur, which help keep them nice and warm during these temperatures. So we actually have some treats for the tigers. We have some bones wrapped up in some bags. So Sam, my coworker, is going to toss them over for the tigers. And we'll see if they'll come and enjoy a treat. And we're not sure where they'll take it. But here we go. There goes Mazzy. And here comes Mila. Hopefully they'll share. So we can watch them as they go down the hill to grab their treats. So our Amur tigers, they get quite a wide variety of diet. Typically, the bulk of their diet is ground meat, which is specially formulated meat that has extra nutrients and vitamins in it. So that's the bulk of their diet. But then they also get some special items, like we just gave them. That's a bone in there. They also get whole rabbits, whole quail, chicks, rats, and I believe that's it. And special meat strips that we use just for training. So all those are special items that they get on a different schedule every day. It's just to provide different variety for them so that they have something new each day. Now, the training we do with them, I'm not sure if Sarah and Elise spoke to you about that, but we do lots of training with our tigers. And all of the training just helps them when it comes to vet care. So it's having them participate in their own vet care. So we train them to accept injections and blood draws so that it makes their lives a lot easier when it comes to vet care. We can just, if they need a vaccine, we can voluntarily give them a vaccine, or if we need a blood draw, we can voluntarily do that from them as well. And a huge success we just recently had was from our male, Vasily. We actually just collected blood voluntarily from him for the first time. So that's super exciting and excellent for him, especially Vasily. He's going to be turning 10 next year. So as an older cat, we want to make sure that we're checking his blood work on a regular basis to make sure he's nice and healthy, and we can monitor any changes that might occur as he ages. All right, you see, so some people might be wondering why we were putting their food in a bag. So that's just a different type of enrichment that we like to provide them. So when it comes to their food, we'll often put it in bags or boxes or hide it. The bags and boxes provide a way for them to tear and rip stuff up. So it's something that they would naturally be doing in the wild, but we just wrap it in paper or cardboard because it's safe for them. If they ingest a little piece of it, it won't harm them. But typically they don't. They just love to tear it up into little tiny pieces, which is what they would do to their prey in the wild. Some of the animals that they would typically be eating in the wild are deer and boar. So those would be the main things that they would be trying to catch in the wild. So you're getting a great shot of them right now, enjoying their snack. Amur tigers, they are listed as endangered. So there's only about 500 Amur tigers left in the wild. So our tigers here, they're part of a special program called the Species Survival Plan. So basically, the purpose of this plan is to create a strong, genetically diverse captive population. So Mazzy, our female here, was paired up with Vasily, our male, and they were brought here to be a breeding pair. And so the first time they were put together, we didn't have any successful breeding. But then last winter, we had Mazzy and Vasily together, and they successfully bred. And now obviously the outcome is Mila. So they had their first cub, Mila, together. All right, thank you so much for joining us here at the Amur Tiger exhibit, but I believe I'm sticking around for some question and answers later. So I will see you guys later.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. I'll bring back in our Sumatran Tiger friends as well to say a hi to everybody. Mary Ellen, are we hanging out at the Sumatran Tigers? Or are we diving in with our quiz and our questions now?
I think we are ready to dive in for our questions. We just had Kamala here, and she's run back around just as you switch the camera back on us. I don't know what's happening, but I think we've got that Kahoot questionnaire, and then it's time for some amazing question and answers.
We sure do. Well, I'll put you guys in the background for just 2 quick seconds, and I will bring up our Kahoot quiz pin. So for those joining us for the very first time on a Kahoot, we're just going to do a fun interactive 4-question quiz, test your understanding a little bit, have a little bit of fun, a nice interactive game for kids. If you guys want to use Kahoot.it and this game pin, I'm going to bring that up on our screen now. I'm going to have our Tiger friends help us with some of the answers maybe in the final seconds before each one. But for those joining for the first time, the faster you answer, the more points you get. And now you don't win anything for winning the Kahoot quiz, but you do win our everlasting respect from the zoo team and from us at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. So keep signing in. We're going to leave that open for a couple more seconds. While we're waiting with that too, I want to say a huge thank you to the Chinese Cultural Center of Greater Toronto. That was amazing. We've never had anything like that on one of our programs before, and a really special supplement to today's Year of the Tiger kickoff with all that amazing conservation work they are doing at the zoo. We'll make sure for the registered classes too that you guys have a link to that conservation video to keep the excitement going after the broadcast. Now I'm going to take that pin off the screen. I'm going to begin with our quiz, and while we're doing this quiz, feel free to get those questions ready on the chat and YouTube, Facebook, and certainly from our live classes joining us across the continent today. So here we are in 3, 2, 1. We're going to get underway with our quiz with our first question. All right. How big can tigers get to be? We're going to bring back our zoo friends to help us out.
Have some
150 pounds, we got 300 pounds, we got 600, or 450. What do we think? 50 of you have answered so far. Keep those answers coming in. So we had a few mentions of tiger weight. We're talking about the biggest tigers. So Amur tigers are the biggest tigers. How big can the biggest tigers get? And our correct answer is 600 pounds. How many of you guys got that right? Let's see. Oh, there's so many. It's given it a little time here. So most of you thought 450, over 600. That gives us our first on our leaderboard. Expert Wildcat taking lead. I like all the cat names for our Tiger Day so far. Randomly generated a lot of fun. All right, multi-select. This is going to be more than one answer. Tigers live in which countries? Now, I couldn't cover all of them in this, but of these ones, which do they live in? Russia, India, Indonesia, or Vietnam? Again, it's probably going to be more than one. We have mentioned a couple of these throughout our broadcast today. We've got Sumatran tigers we got a chance to see. We've got our Amur tigers. I will note, too, that most people, when they think of Amur tigers, call them Siberian tigers, more accurately than the Amur region. So Russia, India, and Indonesia are all correct. Vietnam, no tigers in Vietnam. They used to be there. Again, a testament to the need to conserve wild tigers because they have been extirpated from a lot of their range. All right. Our third question coming in, how can you help tigers? We're going to cover this in our Q&A too a lot. If you guys want to ask questions about this, we'd love to hear it. But buy sustainably sourced products, tell your friends about tigers, be a responsible tourist, or, and I'm thinking this might be my answer. I do like to have this as an answer. All of the above. 240 of you, so many of you on Kahoot today. This is amazing. Way to go, everybody. All right, our answer, of course, is all of the above. Sustainable source products are something that helps every species on this planet. Telling your friends and family about tigers is really important. Conservation begins with awareness. That's so big. And be a responsible tourist. Don't take selfies with wild animals. Don't make sure you're in a situation where the animals are really well cared for. Some of those things go a really long way to helping protect species. Golden Camel has our lead with one more question to go before our Q&A. Get those questions ready, folks. It's the Year of the Tiger. We just finished the Year of the Ox. The Year of the Tiger now. What year comes next? Don't trust my pictures. Never trust my pictures at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. Rat, dragon, pig, or rabbit. 10 more seconds. What do we think? I'm thinking we might have to do a program on this creature next time. Not quite as epic necessarily as a tiger, but a lot of fun just the same. Our Chinese Cultural Center of Toronto, rabbit is the correct answer. A lot of you fell for my dragon picture. That's okay. Having a little fun. Our podium coming up, and then we are going to head to our Notre Dame Academy folks in Louisville, Kentucky for our first question. We got a bunch of really excited kindergartners to kick us off with questions. So our winner for our Kahoot quiz, and please do share who you are in the chat. Golden Camel, way to go, guys. That was a lot of fun. All right, Louisville, we're going to head to you guys first. Come on in and take us away with a question.
All right, here we go. Listen.
Hi.
Hi, it's us. Say hi.
Oh, what do you guys want to know about tigers?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good.
All right, Aubrey, can you ask your question?
Do tigers live in different countries?
You know what? I think we're going to bring in both our Sumatran tiger folks and our Amur tiger folks. What do we think? Do tigers live in different countries?
Yes, they do. There's actually 13 different tiger range countries. So they are found in 13 different countries.
Nice. Great question to kick us off, guys. All right. Let's head to our folks at room 114 in Toronto for a question right down the road from you guys. Hi. Welcome in.
What's your question?
How long can tigers live?
Ooh, I'm going to head to our Amur tiger friends to answer that one. What do we think? How long can tigers live, guys?
Hi, so tigers, they can typically live into their late teens or even early 20s. So similar to a house cat.
That's shocking. I'm surprised at that, actually. Are tigers the longest lived cat? Do we know? Or are all cats pretty similar no matter how big they get? That's really interesting.
All cats are pretty similar to around that lifespan, yeah.
How about that? Never would have thought.
And just so you know, we're looking at the male Amur tiger now. This is Vasily, our male.
We've been so lucky in these Toronto Zoo programs to have just the best live animal moments ever. It's just uncanny. If you go to a zoo or aquarium in your life, again, it sort of can be hit or miss seeing animals up close and personal, and we've had such a special opportunity to see them today. So great job, guys, and great question so far. Miss Fernandez, I'm going to bring you guys in, and we'll field this question with the Sumatran Tiger team. Welcome in, Miss Fernandez. Hi.
How many types of tigers are there in the world?
Ooh, good question. Sumatran friends, what do we think?
So there originally was 9 different types of tigers. 3 have gone extinct, so we currently identify 6 different subspecies.
Nice. We are ripping through these questions. This is like the fastest Q&A of all time. I'm going to start heading to our YouTube and Facebook friends in a minute, but let's head to our grade 2s. Now, grade 2, if you guys want to unmute your microphone, come on up. Welcome in, classroom. Hi, guys. So if your teacher wants to unmute your mic, come on up to the front, and we'll take a question from you, and then we're going to head to our St. Joseph friends next. So if you guys want to unmute your mic at St. Joseph School, please do. But you're good to go. Hey.
How long can tigers hold their breath?
How long can they hold their breath? I like that. Amur Tiger team, what do we think? Tigers going under
You know what? I have no clue. I'm sorry, I don't have that answer. But we don't really see the tigers holding their breath that often. They're often panting quite a bit, so you'll see them. And then when they do swim, because Amur tigers, they do like to go in water, so do all tigers like to go in water. They don't really hold their breath. They don't really go underwater that long. So they're not really holding their breath very long.
I like the inspiration behind that question, though. We're one of the only animals that likes to just plunge ourselves under as a mammal and just stay under there for a long period of time. We're kind of strange that way. But cool question, guys. All right, grade 2-3, St. Joseph, welcome in. Timmons, unmute your mic, and you are good to go. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Good.
We're doing good. Same question. How are cats related to tigers?
Yeah, so house cats related to tigers. I'm going to take this to the Sumatran Tiger team in a second, but I do want to show our Amur Tiger because he's got up. He's come right up to the window to see us, which is very exciting. Now he's showing his tail to us, but his head was in the frame for a quarter second there, pacing around. We'll come and check in with him in just a sec. Sumatran Tiger team, are cats related? So the cats we might have at home as pets, are they related to tigers closely or not?
They are. There is some relation along the lines. These guys are actually in a different family called the Panthera family. So they're a big cat. So there are some differences. Mainly we'll see those differences in the fact that these guys can roar, like your house cats at home can't roar, but these guys can't purr like your house cats. So there are some differences, but there's a lot of similarities we see definitely from personality and some behaviors that we see with our tigers and house cats. So yes, there is some similarities, but they are in different families.
I'm so glad you mentioned the roar thing. So again, there's only 4 kinds of cat in the world that can roar: tigers, lions, leopards, and jaguars. Even other big cats like pumas can't roar. They can only purr. They might be really big, but they just are in a different family and don't have that capability. Kind of neat. All right, we're going to head to YouTube and Facebook for a few questions. I'm going to head to our Amur team to field this one in a second. Ms. Hochglass wants to know, how many tigers are left in the wild? Amur Tiger team, what do we think?
So for the Amur tigers, there's only about 500 left in the wild. So the Amur tigers, they are listed as endangered because of that number, but their numbers actually used to be quite a bit less. And through conservation efforts, we've actually been able to bring their numbers back up to about 500.
Fantastic. So again, this is a story where there's, they face a lot of challenges in the wild. There are more tigers in captivity than there are in the wild by a quite significant margin, but there's so much work being done around the globe to try and remedy that. And again, we got a chance to see that with our amazing conservation video today. Zoos like the Toronto Zoo are really leading the charge to connect community conservation with the amazing public like you guys. So check out the Toronto Zoo website, see what they're doing to help conserve tigers, and you'll help bring that number up in the years to come. All right, Sumatran Tiger team, this one's coming in from Miss Gale. They want to know if the babies have strips of black on them. So when they're babies, do they look like little tigers, or do they look like a cat, or what's the deal?
What do they look like when they're babies?
Yeah, they look like baby tigers pretty much. They're very small, but you can still see the stripes. They're a little bit closer together, and we kind of see that separation as they grow. But yeah, they pretty much still look like little baby tigers.
Tiger stripes go right down to the tiger's skin, so it's not actually just on their fur.
Interesting. That's really good to know. We were doing a polar bear program the other day talking about their black skin under their white fur. So their skin too has that pattern, which is so neat. They're such beautiful animals. All right, I'm going to actually stick with you guys for another question in a second. Oh, we got Vasily up hanging out. I'm trying to keep track of tigers while keeping track of questions all at once. That was the funniest reflection of all time, because it really looked like someone was running into the tiger cage. That was wild. Alarming, very alarming. Let's head back to YouTube for one more, and then we'll go back to our live classes for a second. So many questions. Oh, Miss Matsuba's class, Sophie wants to know, are there any white tigers? Amur Tiger team, you guys can field this one.
Sorry, could you repeat the question for us? We're just playing with Vasily here.
Wow. Are there any white tigers?
So the white tigers, there are white tigers, but there's not a separate species of tiger. But they can be found in a white coloration, but it's not its own separate species.
Okay, so I have to ask, because we're inevitably going to get this question 500 times in the next few minutes. How do you possibly get the job where you get to be the person that gets to play with the tiger? Because that just looks like the most fun thing ever.
Well, Sam, my coworker here, she's the tiger doing the tigers today. I'm just helping her out today, but I also look after the tigers. And we've gone to different types of schooling, post-secondary schooling, that's biology or animal related. So I actually went to school to become a veterinary technician, and I used that to get into here at the zoo to be a zookeeper.
I did fish and wildlife technician, so a little different.
Yeah. Well, I will say we've got a really wide Canadian audience today. There's a lot of fantastic programs in the Toronto area where you can go to end up in jobs like this. So do get the chance to check it out. The zoo also has some amazing programs for youth. Their climate action leadership program is incredible. So do check those things out. You'll have the chance to interact and see some of these animals a lot more close up. Awesome. That was so much fun. All right, Notre Dame Academy, heading back to Louisville. Come on back in for another question.
How many pounds of meat do they eat? How many pounds of meat do they eat?
Ooh, yeah. How many pounds of meat do they eat a day? Sumatran Tiger team.
So a tiger in a single sitting can eat almost 60 pounds of meat at once.
What?
That's usually after they get a fresh kill. They will gorge themselves, and then they could pretty much go for a week without eating again.
Huh. That is so fantastic. So, I mean, if you're for me, comparatively, if I'm a 400-pound tiger and I eat 60 pounds of meat, it's like eating 20, 30 pounds of food for me, at least. That's crazy. So great question, guys. Way to go, Louisville. All right. Room 114, we're going to head back to you guys. Come on in Toronto.
So what's your question, Nehemiah?
How sharp is a tiger tooth?
Ooh, Amur Tiger team. How sharp are their teeth?
Very sharp. You wouldn't want to get bit by one of them. They have really massive canine teeth that are probably about 3 inches long.
We actually, so in our last program with the zoo, Mary Ellen, who's manning the camera at our Sumatran tiger exhibit, we did Toronto Zoo biofacts. So if you want to check out the Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants YouTube page, you can see a tiger skull donated to the zoo, and you can see one of those incredible teeth and see how sharp they are, how big they are. They're just unbelievable to see in person. Miss Fernandez, come on in, unmute your mic. And again, all our live teachers, keep your mics unmuted. It makes it easier when we go to Q&A. Miss Fernandez, come on back in. Hi.
Why do tigers have stripes?
Ooh, okay. So Amur tiger, or yeah, you know what? I'm going to see it with the Sumatran tiger team as we talked about stripes with them earlier. Sumatran tigers, why do they have those stripes to begin with?
So tigers have stripes because it's actually great camouflage for them. So where these guys come from, the Sumatran specifically, they live in very dense jungles, so lots and lots of trees, and it helps them hide. Most of the animals that tigers hunt are actually colorblind. So that when they're looking sort of where a tiger is, all they're seeing is all of these stripes sort of hidden among branches. So it helps them hide really well and be excellent hunters.
I really love tiger footage. It's very rare. We've only started in the last few years to get really fantastic tiger hunt footage. There is a BBC series called The Hunt, which has an amazing scene of a tiger hunting some antelope, and you can really see that they completely disappear when they're in tall grasses. So I encourage people to check that out. Look up tiger camouflage on Google when you're done this broadcast, and you'll see that in action. It's wild. All right, grade twos, come on back in and take us away with a question. Hi, guys.
How fast can tigers run?
Yes, I knew we were going to get this question. Way to go, man. All right, Amur Tiger Team, how fast are they running?
Oh, good question. Actually, Sarah probably might have that answer for you. Sarah, what's the accurate speed?
Sarah's unsure. Everybody's unsure. I've Googled it if we need help. Oh, sorry, let's go back to our...
There we go. Yeah, we got an answer here for you.
So you're looking at about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, so for our Canadian friends, when you're driving down a regular road, not a highway, not a road in a little neighborhood, that's how fast tigers can run. For our American friends, same sort of deal, probably about 35 to 40 miles per hour. We've got a wide array of audiences today. But very cool. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say our favorite way to say it is that most animals can outrun humans in a sprint. So if you ever want to race an animal, you need to do it in a marathon and run long distance, because humans are built for long distance running, but animals like tigers are built for short distance running.
Yes. I want to stress, I know you guys have been featuring a lot of amazing cheetah content lately because you've got these amazing cubs. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal, and so they go up to over 110 kilometers an hour. They've been clocked at. So that's faster than your car on a highway over short distances, just as a comparison with our tigers, but way, way faster than people. Usain Bolt, full sprint is about 23 kilometers per hour. So a tiger is 3 times as fast as Usain Bolt in a sprint. Hard to fathom. Not something you ever want to experience in person either. Grade 2, 3s in St. Joseph's. We're going to head to you guys, take a few more questions from YouTube, and then time flies and you're having fun. So I'll make sure you guys have all the resources you need to keep the learning going after this broadcast. But Timmons, come on in and take us away. Hey, guys.
What is the tiger's favorite food?
Ooh, okay. Amur Tiger Team, favorite food of the tigers?
So our Amur tiger, their favorite food is actually rabbits. So we give them rabbits a couple times a week, and they absolutely love them. Especially Mila, our baby. She loves to carry her rabbit around and kind of show it off and play with it a little bit before she enjoys it.
I feel especially bad that my last Kahoot question was about the next, Chinese cultural year with the year of the rabbit. Tigers winning the fight every day. Cool, guys. Let's head and take a few more questions, 2 or 3 more. I do want to stress for all our folks that might need to leave in the next few minutes, if you guys want to share more questions after the fact, one thing we've been doing all year long is using Padlets. So this is like a virtual whiteboard. You can go share your additional questions. The Zoo team and I will make sure we get you those answers over the next 48 hours. So Padlet.com. Our initials at Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants /Tiger. I'll make sure everyone has that in the chat as well in a second to share more questions. Now, let's head to our YouTube and Facebook friends. There's so many questions. We have more questions than we could possibly answer in 10 broadcasts, not just one. Let's see. There's so many questions coming in. This is great. Oh, Miss Fernizzi's class, how does a zoo habitat for tiger similar to its natural one? So Sumatran Tiger Team, how do you guys try and make sure that the habitat's good for the tigers that you guys have there?
Yeah, we do lots of different things. Enrichment is a big part of that. With our tigers here, what we will do is we have 2 habitats they live in, and then we have an indoor house. We have a yard. So we are constantly swapping up our tigers throughout the day. Sometimes it could go as much as 5 different times a day. And that's actually very seasonal. In the summer, these guys like to eat and then they like to lay around and not do much. In the off seasons, when it's a little bit cooler, they're more active. So we will tend to swap them up. We'll give them access to different areas. So we'll give them that opportunity to walk and use off any extra energy they have. Elise and I, with our female, who's a lot more active than our male, we've actually kind of ran with her before. So we kind of run along the fence line, which kind of encourages that stalking prey. So we're very careful when we do so, but that helps get out any energy that she might have. And then from the mental stimulation, we really focus on our training program, which we find is fantastic, especially for our female. She's very bright. So yeah, we're always offering new scents into their environment for enrichment. We bring in the rhino scents. We bring in scents from other goats. So that's kind of what naturally come into their environment. And swapping them back and forth, because they're a solitary animal, that allows them to smell each other's scent, so then they'll mark on top of that. So that's another way to keep them busy throughout the day.
Fantastic. All right. One more quick question, really easily. Do the tigers like the snow? Amur Tiger team, we have our tiger lying in the snow there. What do they think of the snow?
As you can see, they absolutely love it. These cats are built to live in the snow. So when it's winter here, they actually spend most of their time outdoors in the snow. And actually just recently in our last really big snowstorm we had here in Toronto, our tigers were just sitting out in the snow, and there's actually footage of Vasily just getting covered in snow, and he just laid out there and enjoyed it.
Some of my very favorite videos ever of any kind are just Toronto Zoo animals hanging out in the snow. The panda one is still just the best. Guys, this has been so much fun. I want to make sure we leave with a message of conservation and hope for our classes joining us from across the world today. And so I'll bring in Sumatran first, Amur second. What are some of the things that we can do at home to help tigers? So Sumatran team, if you're sitting today in Louisville, Kentucky, if we're in the middle of Saskatchewan, if we've maybe never even seen a tiger in our lives, what can we do to help protect them?
Yeah, for sure. So there are some amazing ways and really simple ways that everyone at home can help conserve not only just tiger species, but all of the species in general who need our help. One of the best ways is sharing some of the information that you learned here today about how cool tigers are, how incredible they are. By supporting us here at the zoo, especially in Year of the Tiger, those funds are going to help support tiger conservation in the wild. Another really cool one here, I actually have a little display, is one of the major issues that we see in this part of the world is palm oil. And I won't go too much into it here because it is a pretty big topic, but I encourage everyone at home and everyone on this call to research and look into the palm oil crisis and check that out. That's one of the biggest things affecting tigers in their natural habitat right now. So by checking that out and learning more about it and sharing what you learn about it, you are able to help protect these incredible species.
Fantastic. Amur Tiger team, anything to add to that? That was a great synopsis.
Oh, I think Mary Ellen said it all. All those ways to help tigers in the wild is exactly what you can do. The Toronto Zoo helps the tiger or supports the tiger conservation campaign and the Sumatran Ranger project for our Sumatran tigers as well. So you can look those up, do some research about them. You can check out our website and learn more about those programs as well and how the Toronto Zoo is helping with tigers in the wild.
Fantastic, guys. Again, what a great call to action for all our friends at home today. Palm oil is a really big deal. We hear this in a lot of our conservation programs in tropical locations around the world. So again, buy sustainably sourced products. Look to see where your stuff is coming from, and it'll go a really long way to helping protect amazing species. And share what you love about tigers. The more we revel in a love of nature and wildlife, the more we'll convince others to care with us. And it's so important. So again, I want to stress for everyone today, check out the Toronto Zoo website if you want to learn more about all that they do, how you can visit all their conservation efforts, and so much more. They've got so much on the go. It's always a pleasure to get a chance to work with them. And if you guys have more tiger questions, and I know you do because they're all in my chat bar on the side of my screen, head to Padlet.com, the link below. You'll be able to share questions over the next couple days, and I sure hope you will. Till then, I hope you get the chance to join us for some more joint programs in the future. Thank you so much for joining us in the special Year of the Tiger kickoff with the Toronto Zoo team. I'm going to bring in our Amur and our Sumatran Tiger teams together, and I'll bring in all our teacher friends to say a big thank you and farewell. So Notre Dame Academy, Ms. Fernandez, grade 2s, and our grade 2 CBC. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having us.